Hey everybody, Joey and Eric here to do a Rewind Theater on the brand new Man of Steel trailer.
It's so pretty.
It really is so pretty. I'm so excited for this movie. This is all a bunch of new stuff that we haven't seen before. This is obviously Krypton. There's Jor-El right front and center. There's a huge war going on, so we don't really know how much of this is going to be in the movie, but clearly it plays a significant role.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't look like it's just the fact that the planet is going to explode. It looks like all-out war is broken out, which is kind of a cool approach.
Maybe in the Man of Steel universe, Krypton's just torn apart by civil war.
Right.
Or something like that. So we get a lot of that stuff here. You get a crazy flying, I don't know if it's an insect or if it's a ship with wings or what, but it's clearly everything's like kind of bioorganic.
Yeah, very, very different approach to Krypton we're seeing here.
Yeah, there's baby Kal-El, of course, and Russell Crowe as Jor-El. And there's Lara. I'm going to butcher this name, but Ayelet Zurer?
Yeah, an Israeli actress. She was in the Halo web series pretty recently.
There you go. So we get to see a lot of his, Kryptonian pod stuff. And if you read the EW article that came out last week, they talked a lot about how Kal-El in the Man of Steel is the only naturally born Kryptonian baby, and everyone else is sort of engineered, which gives him, sort of this illegal status on Krypton.
Yeah, and I think that adds a lot to sort of why people would be after him, like Zod, for instance. It's not just specifically about his dad, but about the fact that this baby is illegal and shouldn't even exist.
Right, and there you can see really quick on the ship itself, the S shield, which, as we'll learn later, stands for something.
It's not an S.
There's the ship, of course, rocketing to Earth.
And a lot of production companies were involved in the making of this film.
There's quite a few, yeah. I did notice that. And this is stuff that we saw in that original teaser trailer from, that was almost, when was that?
Yeah, it was last summer.
A long time ago.
Quite a while ago.
Almost a year ago.
We were joking that was proto-crypto earlier.
Yeah, I need some crypto in this movie. I don't think I'm going to get it, but...
Now,
right.
Along, we're obviously seeing some of the stuff we've seen before here with Clark saving these kids, but I did like this approach with Jonathan talking about how you're the answer to whether we're alone in the universe, just because sometimes the Superman story kind of ignores he's an alien once he shows up on Earth.
Right.
But this is going to obviously explore that a bit more.
Yeah, that line itself, too, is a direct quote from Superman Birthright by Mark Waid and Lionel Yu, and there's a lot of references to that book throughout this trailer. I love this scene because it's so classic Superman. But behind Jonathan on the wall there, you can see lots of newspaper clippings and stuff. And so I'm curious if he's maybe sort of been tracking, after Kal-El arrived, if he's been tracking more alien activity, or maybe if that was a hobby, beforehand or something for him.
Right, right.
But clearly he's kind of a nut for this stuff.
And we know more aliens will show up in this film.
That's true. That's a very, very sweet moment.
That is a big
classic
moment
Superman
there.
moment. And this, again, Clark wandering the world and stuff is very Superman Birthright. And he's sort of going around saving people where he can, but trying to still hide his identity, and that's why he keeps moving from place to place. And it seems like they're adding an element of Lois sort of tracking down this mystery hero.
Yeah, I actually think that's really interesting and a very different approach, the fact that he's sort of this mythical guy who's showing up every now and again helping people, and that she has a reporter. That's what kind of first brings her to him, is her investigation.
Yeah, it's very, very cool, and I love Birthright. So, I mean, anyone that's interested in Man of Steel, I think you should give that a read beforehand and see, any parallels that you might find.
We got a quick glimpse there of what looks like the Fortress of Solitude as well here.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like it looks like it's not as organic as the other one, built from the crystal and stuff. So I wonder if it's like a ship of some kind.
Mm-hmm. That looks like a little Donner homage there. We saw that shot in some earlier trailers, but I like that they did that quite a bit.
Here's some crazy, I don't know if this is still on Krypton, but you can see Superman there, so maybe it's the attack on Earth, but it's this big tentacle creature thing. It's kind of crazy.
It's the Chitauri. They flew over.
Yeah. And this is very cool. This looks like Small Town, which I'm going to guess is Smallville.
Yeah, we're going to get a look at more of this later in the trailer, but it looks like there's a big battle in a small town that we're going to think is probably Smallville.
Yeah, so you can see a plane landing pretty harshly, which is kind of awesome. And this is there's one of those flying machines again.
Which, again, we wonder how much of this is Krypton and how much is Earth, because it looks like, Zod might not come, well, he certainly doesn't come by himself, but how much sort of artillery, how much, of an actual army and equipment does he bring?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's got his entire army with him at a certain point. Here's a good look at Zod. Clearly, this is still Krypton being captured.
Yeah, this looks like it's definitely sort of their version of the famous guilty scene from the
Yeah.
Donner films.
With less floating heads. This is a very cool shot, though, of maybe this is when Superman first sort of shows up and the military is clearly gunning for him.
Snyder does the flowing capes very well.
He does. He's not too bad at it. There's a cool shot of Zod and company overlooking Metropolis.
And there's a tower there we're going to talk about again in a second when we get a better shot at it.
Yep, it will become quite important. And this is sort of tricky here because this is a totally different scene. This is again the sentencing scene with Zod, and you can see Feora over in the bottom left there.
Right, and we know she has a fairly prominent role. We're not sure about these other guys behind him, but it's starting to think that yeah, he might have more of a full army, and she's kind of his lieutenant.
Yeah.
But the rest of these guys might show up as well.
And this when you watch it in full speed, it looks like Superman standing there, but when you actually zoom in and stop for a second, it's actually Feora.
Yeah. And
So
so
that's kind of
again, yeah, it
interesting.
looks like this is kind of kind of their version of the Kryptonian villains running, wrecking stuff on Earth, like
On
we
Planet
got
Houston.
on Planet Houston. Yes.
And there's the shot we were talking about. Whoops, there we go. Go back.
Yep.
So you can see on that building right below the falling debris there is the LexCorp building,
Mm-hmm.
which is very interesting because obviously Lex Luthor exists in this universe. They've said that he's not in it, or they haven't really confirmed.
Kind of coy about that. Yeah.
So, but clearly he exists within the universe, and LexCorp is a big deal.
Yeah. So kind of like Amazing Spider-Man, even if he's not in it, exists for sequels to use.
Yeah, and this looks like the Kryptonian battle armor. We think that's Zod. But it is interesting to note that it's sort of reminiscent of the power suit that Lex Luthor uses in the comics to battle Superman. Obviously, Lex Luthor can't battle Superman because he's a human, so that would make sense if that's where his armor came from.
I just think Lex sees that and says, "Let's paint that sucker green and purple, and we're good
Green
to
and
go."
purple is how he rocks it, man.
That's right.
And so here we're back in what we think is Smallville again, and obviously Superman dodging some bullets.
Deflecting
or
some bullets.
Lasers or giant shells, I'm not really sure. It was very cool to see him use his super speed.
I do hope we get some heat vision action at some point,
Oh,
though.
totally. With his glowing red eyes and just totally angry Superman. And here's Superman flying in to save someone with a ponytail. Maybe it's Lois. That's kind of her thing, is falling a lot.
Falling and him catching her, yes.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be a Superman movie without that going on. So.
And here we really get, just how sort of massive a scale Zod's attack on Metropolis looks to be.
Yeah, this is no longer the 3 Kryptonians attacking Superman. This is an army invading.
Right.
And that's very cool Kryptonian battle armor that they wear on Krypton. In the EW article that we mentioned earlier, this is something Superman in his blue and red suit is just sort of, he's almost kind of naked. Like that's the undergarments that they would normally wear on Krypton, while this would go over it to protect them. But obviously on Earth, he's got the Earth's yellow sun, so he doesn't need that.
And this young lady here has been a topic of conversation for a lot of people. There is a lot of rumors that is Jimmy Olsen, or this film's version of Jimmy, possibly called Jenny Olsen.
That would be pretty cool. I think she should still have red hair, but hey, whatever.
Right. It's a significant shot of her, though, which makes me think it's probably true, just because why does she get such a big close-up there?
It's a nice little push-in from the camera. And you can see Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White behind her. So
Right, and earlier trailers showed them running alongside each other.
yeah, and this is a very cool shot that we saw in another trailer, the last trailer, but Superman and who we assume is Zod in that power suit,
Yeah.
just colliding in a big way.
Yeah, it definitely looks like we're going to get some cool one-on-one battles here.
Yeah, Superman looking mad flying. It's always my favorite.
No curl.
No curl, but hey, I'll let it slide.
Right. And then this is like our big first moment between Lois and Superman that we've seen in any of the ads.
Yeah, I mean, this is really the first dialogue scene a significant dialogue scene that we've seen. And of course, it references again the Superman birthright, which we mentioned, where Superman says that the S on his chest is not, in fact, an S. It means hope in Kryptonian.
Not quite clear about this end part here with the feedback. Did he do that on purpose?
It's
Or was it an accident?
Kryptonian joke.
I guess it's a Kryptonian joke that is lost on my Earth sensibility.
You wouldn't get it.
Right.
But here he's battling in the sky, but without the power suit now, whoever he's fighting. But plenty of punches going on for anyone that complained that Superman Returns had a lack of them.
Yeah, it's like, here you go. Superman is going to punch a guy repeatedly.
Multiple times
That's
throughout
right.
the sky. So we're not sure if that's Zod or not, but It's definitely clearly a Kryptonian because
He's not
otherwise
dissolving. He's
yeah,
not
you'd
exploding
be
from
punching,
the punches. Yeah.
punching through that guy. So plenty of secrets in this trailer. We'll see what else this movie has in store when it releases on June 14th. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.